10 Best Reacher Episodes so far, based on the novels of Lee Child. Reacher follows the hulking, laconic drifter Jack Reacher, Alan Ritchson, as he roams the United States, protecting everyday people who find themselves on the bad side of powerful criminal organizations. A cross between Sherlock Holmes and John Rambo, Reacher proves that a hero doesn't have to choose between brain and brawn. As a former military investigator, Jack Reacher first attacks a problem with his keen observational skills and deep understanding of human nature. However, when the fists start to fly, the 6'5" muscle man is more than capable of doing some damage. Each season of Reacher is based on a different one of Lee's books, meaning they have their own distinct arcs and characters. Regardless of the season, the action thriller is always full of shootouts, bare-knuckle brawls, and intrigue, resulting in some of the best episodes in the TV action genre. Frances Neagley Maria Sten, a skilled hacker who served under Reacher in the 110th Special Investigation Unit of the U.S. Army, reaches out to inform him that their fellow 110th member, Calvin Franz, Luke Billick, was killed under mysterious circumstances. The veteran investigators cross paths with David O'Donnell, Sean Sipos, another member of their unit who is investigating Fran's death. The trio decides to work together and uncovers evidence that insinuates every member of their unit may be in danger. As soon as it's revealed that Reacher's friend has been murdered, the viewers know they're in for a hell of a ride. The Bruiser is a force of nature, and woe to anyone who stands in his path when he's out for revenge. The premise also promises to shine a new light on Reacher's past, which has remained largely unknown up to this point in the series. This episode does exactly what a premiere should, setting up a tantalizing adventure that gets fans psyched for the season ahead. Throughout Season 2, Reacher and his team clash with Gaetano Russo, the short-tempered New York homicide officer assigned to Fran's case. Russo attempts to build a solid case are trampled by Reacher's bull-in-a-china-shop approach. Despite their differences, Reacher recruits Russo to watch over a witness's daughter in New York's finest. The special investigators set a trap for the sketchy tech company New Age, but things go sideways when dirty cops descend on Russo. Russo gives his life protecting the young girl, and the grossly outmanned Reacher has to fight through New Age's thugs. Reacher's first season follows the errant veteran's attempts to ferret out the crime syndicate at the heart of the small southern town of Margrave. One of Reacher's first allies in the city is fiery cop Roscoe Conklin, Willa Fitzgerald, whose initial trust in the drifter begins to waver in light of his brutal manner. She pushes Reacher to divulge more of his past, and he reluctantly opens up about his time in Iraq. Later, when they contact his deceased brother's girlfriend for intel, Reacher is able to connect with her thanks to Roscoe's influence. This episode is the audience's first real glance beyond Reacher's tough guy exterior. Ritchson does an amazing job of communicating his struggle with subtlety, preserving the character's trademark silent nature, while also showing there's depth behind his brooding eyes. 10 Best Reacher Episodes so far. Reacher, based on Lee Child's popular Jack Reacher book series, premiered with its first season in 2022, and fans were immediately captivated. The show follows Jack Reacher, a former military policeman turned drifter, as he wanders through small towns, solving mysteries with a combination of brains and brawn. As of now, only the first season has aired, but it's packed with standout episodes that set a high bar for future seasons. Here are the 10 best Reacher episodes so far, a mix of intense action, smart sleuthing, and compelling character development. 1. Welcome to Margrave, Season 1, Episode 1. The pilot episode does an excellent job of introducing Jack Reacher, played by Alan Ritchson, capturing the stoic, larger-than-life presence from the novels. We first see Reacher wandering into the quiet town of Margrave, Georgia, only to be arrested for a murder he didn't commit. This episode sets the tone for the series, establishing Reacher as a man who speaks little but says a lot through his actions. The tension builds slowly, leading to a powerful ending where Reacher proves his innocence in the most Reacher way possible, through sheer, unrelenting force. 2. First Dance, Season 1, Episode 2. As Reacher begins to dig deeper into the conspiracy brewing in Margrave, the stakes rise dramatically. This episode focuses on Reacher teaming up with local police officers Roscoe, Willa Fitzgerald, and Finley, Malcolm Goodwin, to unravel the mystery. The writing here balances gritty detective work with Reacher's trademark brutal physicality, showcasing his unique combination of intellect and power. The standout moment comes when Reacher takes down a group of attackers in a local diner, solidifying his reputation as a one-man army. 3. Spoonful, Season 1, Episode 3. Spoonful ramps up the tension by revealing more about the corrupt underbelly of Margrave and introducing more players in the conspiracy. Reacher's investigation grows more personal as he uncovers links to his brother Joe, who also appears to have been caught up in this dark plot. The flashbacks to Reacher's childhood with Joe add a layer of emotional depth, helping viewers understand why Jack is so fiercely determined. Action-wise, this episode has one of the most satisfying fight scenes in the series when Reacher takes on multiple thugs in a prison cell, a brutal, fast-paced sequence that leaves viewers in awe of his combat skills. 4. In a Tree, Season 1, Episode 4. This episode delves deeper into the corruption within Margrave and raises questions about who Reacher can trust. In a Tree highlights the show's knack for complex character dynamics, with Reacher growing closer to Roscoe and Finley, who are gradually won over by his methods. A gripping scene in this episode takes place when Reacher and Roscoe are ambushed in the woods. The intensity of the chase, the stark rural landscape, and the cat-and-mouse tension make it a heart-pounding experience. 5. No Apologies, Season 1, Episode 5. By this point in the season, the conspiracy has become much larger than a small-town crime. No Apologies showcases Reacher's investigative prowess alongside his combat skills. The episode also serves as a turning point for Finley, who becomes more willing to bend the rules in pursuit of justice. Reacher's influence is unmistakable here. The tension builds toward the climactic scene, where Reacher finds himself in a high-stakes confrontation in a secluded warehouse, using both his brains and brawn to outsmart a group of armed thugs. 6. Papier, Season 1, Episode 6. The episode Papier reveals more about Joe's investigation into Margrave and connects the dots between the military, counterfeit money, and international criminal organizations. The depth of the conspiracy is staggering, and the series' pacing begins to quicken. One standout aspect of this episode is the development of the relationship between Reacher and Roscoe. Their dynamic is built on mutual respect, and it's refreshing to see a strong, capable woman holding her own next to Reacher. The episode's tense final moments in a showdown with one of the series' main antagonists leave viewers on edge. 7. Reacher Said Nothing, Season 1, Episode 7. In one of the most hard-hitting episodes, Reacher Said Nothing lives up to its title. Reacher remains the strong, silent type, but when he does act, it's swift and decisive. The action sequences in this episode are visceral, particularly a brutal brawl in a factory. But what makes this episode truly stand out is its emotional resonance. Reacher's discovery of just how deep his brother Joe was involved in the Margrave conspiracy forces him to confront his past. Alan Ritchson's portrayal of Reacher's stoic pain is surprisingly nuanced in these quieter moments. 8. Pi, Season 1, Episode 8. The penultimate episode sets the stage for the explosive finale. Pi has all the classic elements of a great action thriller episode: twists, betrayals, and a race against time. Reacher and his allies are finally piecing together the full scope of the plot, leading to a tense standoff with the town's corrupt leadership. The episode balances quiet, reflective moments where Reacher contemplates revenge with intense action sequences. One of the most striking visuals is Reacher calmly walking away from an explosion, a scene that,